right, so first things first, we've got our preheated pan and we're gonna take a pound of bulk pork sausage. Just pop that in. You can hear it's already sizzling. Now we're gonna let it sit a minute and start to brown just a little bit before we mess with it. Just pop that in the pan. Once that starts sizzling a little bit, then you go through with your mix and chop and just break that up. And then you're gonna cook that down until it is browned all the way through. Just keep running through it with this. You'll get some nice small pieces. They're perfect for any recipe. While your sausage is browning, you're gonna take your pepper core and you're just going to pop that core right out of there. And then, sometimes you get lucky and it pulls the core all the way out. Sometimes it doesn't, but it still pops out really easily even if it doesn't. And then we're just gonna take our pepper and we're gonna slice the white parts out with the handle. Get all that stuff out. And then we'll just dice this up. I like to dice pretty small, but you can choose how you'd like to do it. If you want something a little bit spicier, you could always try some jalapenos instead. Whatever you like. Just get it nice and fine, like so. All right, once your sausage is nice and brown, you're gonna drain the grease. I like to actually use my baster for this. Everybody kind of has their own method, but I just like to do it this way. Get that all nice and dried up. All right, we've got all the grease out. Then we're gonna take that diced bell pepper and just pop that in. And then add to that 4 ounces of cream cheese. And then we're gonna wanna stir this around until the cream cheese melts all the way through. You might even wanna let it rest a minute. Start to get warm. And then it'll spread a lot further. So you just keep stirring it around until the cream cheese melts all the way down, and it should look something like this. It'll kind of almost look like your meat is undercooked, but that's just the whiteness of the cream cheese kind of toning it down. And then once this is done, you're gonna remove it from the heat and set aside. All right, next up, we're gonna take and shred up about a cup of cheddar cheese. Maybe a little more. Cheddar cheese is one of those things that you measure with your heart, not with your measuring cups, because we all know more cheese is better than less cheese, and that's just good math. So you shred that up. All right, so I've got my prep cup next and an egg. So I'm just gonna crack the egg into 1 tablespoon of water. And then just give that a good quick stir. So you want your egg to be a little bit runnier than normal, but not too much. Only a little water will do the trick. All right, now to put this together, we're going to take 12-ounce crescent roll dough, and we're going to lay half of it there, and the other half of it here. And you can see the perforations. What you actually want to do is close those up. Now, I preheated my stone, so I have to be careful not to touch it, but I put the stone in with the oven to preheat. So you just want to close those down and sort of mush that together. So you've got one large sheet instead of the perforations, because we're just using crescent roll dough as a base. rather than making actual crescents. So we just pinch that all shut. And this one's actually a little bit thick right here, so I'm gonna press that out a little bit more than usual. But, you know, sometimes we adjust and we make it work, and that's okay too. So, once that's done, you're gonna take the sausage mixture and just lay that down the middle. You want to even it out a little bit more because, of course, you don't want those ends to have no meat and the middle to have all the meat. So you just kind of want to push that around until you've got a nice, solid filling across the center of the dough. And then you're just going to top that with the shredded cheese from earlier. Of course, like I said, more cheese is always better than less cheese. And then I'm going to carefully lift up those sides because, like I said, my pan's already kind of preheated, and just sort of wrap that up over your filling. If you don't preheat your pan, you can probably do this with your hands, but I did, and I don't want to burn myself. So I'm just gonna fold that up. You want to get it as close as possible. It doesn't have to be fully closed, but close as you can get it is good, because the harder it is to close, the more toppings you have inside, the better it will taste. Then you just want to take that egg from before and just brush that on your outsides, get a little egg wash going. And then this is gonna bake in the oven at 375 for about 18 to 22 minutes. You don't want it to cook too long because everything's already cooked through. You just kind of want to cook those crescent rolls and melt that cheese on the inside. Get that nice ooey gooey cheesy filling. And enjoy. All right, so once you pop it out of the oven, you can see it's got that nice golden brown. You take your pizza cutter and then just slice off some pieces, and you've got a quick and easy dinner that the whole family will love.